Many professors wake up every morning feeling like hamster wheel runners, publish a paper to secure a grant, use that grant to churn out another paper, and rinse and repeat under the ever-looming threat of publish or perish. Why does this treadmill feel so suffocating? Because it sidelines the very curiosity that drew them to academia, forcing them to focus on incremental studies that please grant panels rather than bold ideas that might truly change the world. Have you ever wondered why teaching often feels like speaking through a megaphone at a handful of students crammed into a lecture hall? Professors yearn to ignite a passion for discovery in hundreds or thousands of eager minds, but they're boxed into tiny classrooms with fixed schedules and rigid curriculums. That sense of limited impact can wear on anyone who believes education should be an expansive, interactive adventure. And what about funding? Imagine spending months writing a grant proposal only to learn you didn't get the money, and that your career prospects dim because you couldn't publish the follow-up work. The cycle forces researchers to chase safe, predictable projects rather than daring, high-risk innovations. Question: how can one cultivate breakthroughs when every choice is weighed against the next funding deadline? The answer is tortured compromises and stifled creativity. So what happens when a professor dares to break free? They begin to dream of an environment unshackled by bureaucratic hoops, an innovation hub where teams of engineers, artists, students, and entrepreneurs can tinker together, share resources on the fly, and pivot instantly when a new idea sparks. No more waiting for months of grant reviews or scheduling dozens of small lectures. Instead, pop-up workshops, hackathons, and open lab days open the floodgates to collaboration and real-world impact. By founding their own innovation centers, these trailblazers reclaim control over their work. They can align funding directly with projects that matter, like sustainable energy prototypes or AI tools for public health, without the need for endless paper trails. They expand their teaching reach through online platforms and community partnerships, inspiring thousands rather than dozens. In short, they swap the treadmill of publish or perish for a dynamic playground where curiosity, creativity, and tangible change become the true measures of success. Modern academia often rewards quantity of publications over quality, originality, or societal relevance. Professors are pressured to produce papers in high-impact journals, often at the expense of long-term, risky, or interdisciplinary work. This cycle encourages fragmented, incremental outputs rather than bold innovations or deep teaching engagement. Creativity is replaced by metrics. Exploration is replaced by safe, fundable topics. Many researchers feel that the system no longer fosters discovery, but bureaucracy. A professor leaves their tenured position after realizing they are spending more time revising grants and writing papers no one reads than doing real science. It's like being a chef required to cook the same meal every day just to meet kitchen quotas. No time left to invent new recipes. Faculty often teach small groups of students, restricted by classroom size, course schedules, and curriculum standards. Even world-class researchers may only impact 20-40 students per semester, despite global demand for their knowledge. Moreover, administrative tasks and research expectations often overshadow teaching efforts. Professors are increasingly treated as content providers, not mentors or community builders. This limitation pushes many to seek broader educational impact through online or alternative innovation platforms. A professor with viral online lectures sees that their one public video reaches more students in a week than their university course does in a decade. It's like a lighthouse keeper being told to light only one small candle. While thousands wait at sea in the dark, the dominant funding model requires researchers to obtain grants in order to do research. But the grant evaluation process often prioritizes prior publications. This creates a self-reinforcing loop where getting grants depends on producing more publishable content, even if it lacks transformative potential. Innovative, risky, or interdisciplinary ideas are often unfundable due to perceived uncertainty. Time and creativity are consumed by administrative compliance and grant chasing rather than deep exploration. Over time, researchers burn out or disengage. A scientist proposes a radically new bioengineering technique, but reviewers reject it as too novel, forcing a pivot to a safer, less impactful direction. It's like being told you can only build bridges if you already built many before, even if the one you propose connects a previously unreachable place. Unlike traditional university departments, independent innovation hubs are not bound by rigid bureaucracy, outdated tenure systems, or narrow success metrics. Professors who launch their own hubs can design interdisciplinary environments, pursue moonshot ideas, and collaborate with industry and startups without academic gatekeeping. These spaces foster rapid prototyping, student entrepreneurship, and scalable education models. Innovation hubs allow educators to experiment with teaching methods, AI tools, and global access. They enable meaningful, uncensored, high-impact science. A former faculty member establishes an innovation school where high schoolers and retirees co-develop biotech prototypes alongside researchers. It's like leaving a rigid orchestra to form a jazz ensemble. More risk, but far more freedom to improvise and inspire. Universities often serve a small elite demographic due to high tuition, admissions bottlenecks, and geographic limitations. Professors who shift to innovation hubs can build platforms that democratize access to knowledge, especially in underserved regions. Online tools, AI mentoring systems, and collaborative learning networks empower teachers to reach thousands or even millions. This global reach resonates more deeply with educators motivated by impact rather than prestige. In many cases, their influence grows after leaving formal academia. A nanoengineering professor launches an online academy in microfluidics that attracts students from 40 countries, including remote areas with no university presence. It's like opening your classroom windows and finding an entire village listening from outside. And finally inviting them in. In traditional academia, teaching, research, and commercialization are siloed into separate departments and rarely aligned. Professors often cannot involve students directly in entrepreneurial ventures or integrate real-world innovation into coursework. By starting their own hubs, they create seamless ecosystems where students co-author papers, file patents, and launch startups. Education becomes an act of creation, not just instruction. This integration empowers learners and restores joy and purpose to teaching. At a private innovation lab, students co-develop a prototype nanomotor and win an international startup competition before graduation. It's like growing a tree where fruit, roots, and seeds all share the same nutrients. Everything feeds everything. Many professors report that the best part of their job, deep thinking, experimentation, and mentoring, is lost in a sea of bureaucracy, meetings, and metrics. Innovation hubs allow them to reclaim time and focus, to engage in curiosity-driven research or transdisciplinary exploration. With fewer institutional constraints, they can design their own schedule, create experimental curricula, or collaborate freely. These hubs become sanctuaries for intellectual freedom and personal meaning. The motivation shifts from survival to significance. A chemistry professor leaves their university to focus full-time on a sustainability innovation hub that unites high schoolers, artists, and scientists. It's like a painter leaving the museum to build a studio where the walls are made of ideas and the guests are creators. Innovation hubs allow their founders to define ethical priorities often missing in mainstream academia. Open science, equity, inclusion, sustainability, or responsible AI. Without the rigid constraints of institutional hierarchy, founders can experiment with governance, mentorship, revenue sharing, and cross-sector collaboration. Agile structures replace tenure ladders. Trust replaces titles. Many of these hubs operate as nonprofit social impact ventures with real-world outcomes. In this new model, innovation serves humanity, not bureaucracy. A professor launches a distributed mentorship network where students co-author open access video papers and receive royalties, not grades. It's like redesigning a library where readers become writers and the books are alive and evolving. Professors who leave faculty jobs are not abandoning science, they're redefining it. Their innovation hubs often partner with universities, industry, and governments in flexible ways. These hubs act as accelerators, transdisciplinary schools, or real-world R&D labs that complement traditional institutions. As the boundaries between research, learning, and startup creation blur, these hubs may represent the next evolution of the university itself. They are incubators of both ideas and people. Former faculty from MIT, ETH, and Stanford are now launching global innovation hubs in AI, biotech, and sustainability that bridge academia and entrepreneurship. It's like upgrading the university from a stone building to a living network that breathes innovation.